Hi everyone, so today I want to show you this card which I saw on Pinterest, and it had been saved by Wendy Middendorp, but there was no instructions, nothing to click on. Somebody else had left a message saying, please can you, do you have any instructions for this? Can you tell us how to make it? But there was no reply. So I looked at it and I thought, right, I've got to try and figure that out. So I set about trying to figure it out. So as you can see, it opens up and you've obviously got that there, and I just thought, So all I had to go on was that, basically, but it literally looked like that. So yeah, so I've done my best. So I don't know if this is what it's supposed to be or if this is how it's supposed to be, but this is how I came up with. So it stands up like that. And obviously there you can see the top view. Obviously that's what it would look like from the front. And I really liked it. I just thought it was a bit different. I like the cut off corner, the little bit sticking out here. And obviously you can open it up. If you want to, you could write here if this was white, or you could put a bit down here maybe, or in the back there, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a white piece on the back there and write on the back there. So yeah, so these papers are from Dovecraft, and it's this secret garden. This is from quite a while ago, this is, but I've got this pack from my demonstrating days, so I thought I'd give it a go because they're quite nice. And I started actually with these two toppers, which I got from China. They were like cheap toppers. I got a little pack of them, and I thought, I need to start using them because I haven't used them for ages. So I started with these two and then just tried to find papers that went, and these papers I thought went really well. And then I already had cut this out, so yeah, so that was the one. So we're going to do this today, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to be using papers from Antonio Makes, and this was out of the Vintage Kitchen pack, and also, so these two are out of the Vintage Kitchen digital kit, and this one was out of the Autumn one. I think it was the Autumn background papers, but I thought it went well with it. So yeah, and then this was also out of that same pack that I use those toppers. It's always a good time. And then I'm going to also have a happy birthday on there as well. These butterflies I again got from China, and they've got plastic bodies and they've actually got little magnets on the back, but what I'll probably do is just stick those down, but I think they're going to work well with it. So what you need to start with is a base card that is 6 by 10 inches. Okay, so for this I want the folded bit to be on the left hand side. So because of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at 4 inches in from this edge, so it'll be at 6, and I'm just going to score down, but I'm only going to score 4 inches down. I'm going to guess it to start with. Okay, so that's 4 inches in from this left hand edge, and I'm scoring down 4 inches. I then want to turn it round like this, so that this end is at the top, and I'm scoring at 4 inches. So this time I can go from the right hand side in 4 inches, and I'm going to score down 4 inches. Okay, so you end up with that. So basically if I turn this over, that's basically what I need, because I need this square here to be in the bottom left hand corner of my card. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get our corkboard in and a ruler. Okay, so making sure that that little square that you've scored is in the bottom left hand corner, you then want to go along the top and make a mark at 6 inches. Okay, and then what you want to do is score from this bottom left hand corner all the way up to that mark, and it should go through that corner. If you've scored properly, it should go through that corner. So I'm just going to turn my card round, lay that on. I'm going from these 2 points. This is my priority, to go from these 2 points, and to be honest, you might end up kind of overriding this score slightly, just so you can make sure it's square when you come to fold it. Okay, so that is all of your scoring done. So now what I want to do is this one here, I'm going to fold it as a mountain fold. Part of it will change over to be a valley, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up. So as I said, I've scored it, but I just want to make sure that this line is straight. It doesn't go off in different ways. So we're going to score that like that. And then what we're going to do is this top half is actually going to be a valley. So we're going to score this middle bit, fold this middle bit as a valley, and that's going to be a valley. And if you just can see, I'm just going to fold it all down like that, and then give it a good burnish. And then that basically is your card shape. Okay, so there you have it. There's your card shape. So it's not that difficult really. It's just getting that, making sure that you put this in the bottom left hand corner. And I've got another version of this, in fact 2 other versions of this, and so it's important to just remember where you're scoring when you're doing it. Okay, so to decorate we need to get some matte and pattern layers. So I've gone for black for the matte. So the black matte, the large one for here, needs to be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And what you want to do is you just want to measure in from the right hand side along the top, measure 3 3/4 and make a mark, and then measure up from the bottom 3 3/4 and make a mark, and then this whole, if you join the 2 marks up, you're going to cut that corner off. And if you do that, hopefully it should fit nicely. Now you probably can't see that, but I'm going to cut it off now and then you'll be able to see it. So we're going to cut this corner off. There we go, like that. Okay, so that was there. So then this should then fit on here with a nice border, and it does. So that works well. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Okay, so then for the pattern piece, you need a pattern piece that's 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, and this time we're going to measure in 5 3/8 along there and along there, but I'm going to flip it over and do it on the other side because I don't want to have pencil marks on my nice side. So again, because I flipped it over, I just need to remember that I'm coming from the left this time, not the right, because it's the opposite way around. So we're going to mark along the top here from the left coming over to the right, and we're going to mark at 3 5/8, and then I'm going to mark from this bottom section up 3 5/8. Just turn this round, so 3 5/8, which is there, and then we're going to join those 2 together, and then we're just going to trim that off. So if I turn this over, place this onto here, as you can see, it fits nicely. So that works well. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Okay, so we've done the middle bit there. So next we're going to move on and do this front piece. So this front piece here, the matte card needs to be 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. And what we're going to do is, again, we need to cut a little bit of a corner off at the top there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to measure up this side 3 3/4, same as we did with the square. And we're going to make a mark. And then we're going to draw a line from that mark to the top right hand corner. And then we're just going to cut that corner off. So that should now fit nicely onto there, which it does. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Okay, so now we've done that, we're going to need to go ahead and take a pattern piece that's 1 1/2 by 5, and this time we need to cut up, we need to measure up this side here 3 5/8. So again, I'm just going to flip it over so I can draw it on the other side. So 3 5/8, which is there. And then we're going to, again, draw a line from there to that other top corner, like we did before, like that. And then we're just going to cut that off. Obviously, remember I'm doing it the other way around because it's the back. Okay, and then that should hopefully fit nicely on there, which it does. And the angle's not quite right, but it's almost there. It's close enough. I think my measurement probably wasn't quite right. In fact, maybe I should bring this down a little bit. Let me just readjust that. So I might make this, that was 5/8. Yeah, that is right. Don't know what I've done there. I'm just going to angle it just slightly more. It's not quite right. If you find that it's not quite right, then just you know, just have a fiddle around and see if you can get it to be the right angle. But when I did it on the other, on the sample card, it turned out fine. So obviously I've done something not quite right there, but hopefully that works. Yeah, that works better. There we go, it's a better angle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. Okay, so next you're going to need to cut out a square of mat that's 3.5 by 3.5, and you need to cut it in half diagonally. You only actually need one of these triangles, so you might want to do a couple of cards at a time so you don't waste a triangle. So you want one that's 3.5 by 3.5, and that is going to go here. So I'm just going to open this up and stick this down in there like that. And then you need a piece of pattern paper that's 3 by 3, and again just cut it in half diagonally. You only need one corner of it, and then that is going to go there. If you want to, you can do what I did with this one. So what I did was I actually just cut, I had an A4 page, and I just measured 3 inches up one side, made a mark, 3 inches up the other side, made a mark, and then drew a line, just cut that corner off, and then I wasn't wasting card, as it were. So you can do that if you want. Right, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. Okay, so you end up with that. So then when you fold it down, there's your card. So now we're going to go ahead and decorate. So I've got some little butterflies, so I thought we might have one here. We might have a big one here. I'll just stick with 2 actually. Might just stick with 2, one there, and then maybe have that one on there like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and stick these down. I'm going to use pin flare glue because it's my new favourite thing, and it sticks really well. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Okay, so there we have it. So there's our finished card. So obviously if you want to, you could then add a white piece on the back. My back is white anyway, so I might add a matte and then another white piece and just stamp a greeting, happy birthday greeting. But yeah, but that's it. So it's quite relatively easy to do. I think the mats and the patterns are probably the most, interesting of layers. But I like the way it stands up. I like the way it folds flat for posting. So if you don't add, chunky embellishments on like I did with my original, then this is quite flat. This would go through the post in the UK without too much bother. The base card that I used for this card was about, well, this one was 230, and this would have been probably the same actually, maybe 200. I can't remember what that is. It's either about 200, 230. So you don't want to go too thick, otherwise you're going to end up struggling with the fold. But yeah, you can do substantial weight. I mean, both of my pattern papers aren't very much. This obviously is just copier paper, which is 80 GSM, and the mat is about 120, 130, something like that. This pattern paper is 160 GSM, I think. So yeah, so it's not too bad. But yes, I hope you like this card. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you want to become a member, please do. Just hit the join button, which is just below the screen. Thank you to all my members that I have at the moment. I'm blown away. I've got about, well, at the time of me recording this, I've got 14 members, which is wonderful. And that's since October 2022. So I'm just over the moon about that. So if you want to come and join us, come and join the membership, support the channel, that would be wonderful. If you don't want to become a member, but you do still want to support the channel, you can click on the Buy Me a Coffee PayPal link that's on the header, or you can look on About. If you look on the About tab, on there it gives you a Buy Me a Coffee option for PayPal. You can just donate some money to me. That would be great. Help support the channel and help me do what I, keep doing what I do. So thank you ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.